Hello, sorry for the late game, but this is actually going to be Tuesday's game today, and you guys are going to get 2 games today, just because it's not that I got lazy, it's that I actually got super busy. Like, everything's going to be really busy for me for like the next week and a half, 2 weeks, stuff like that. But once it's settled down, you know, I'll try to get back to my regular schedule. Anyways, for now, this match is going to be against a guy by the name of Zer0Hour17. As you may or may not be able to tell, it's actually an NU match, and he's brought Ditto, and I don't really feel comfortable fighting Ditto this low in tiers, but I guess Ditto is really only as good technically as the Poke gets the Gans, so you just got to make sure not to set up, get too greedy with things like that before it comes in. So I don't really have anything that wants to set up immediately other than Pincer, so it's just kind of something to keep in the back of my head, but other than that, I'm not really too worried about it, so that's fine. But he leads with Electabuzz. I make kind of a risky play because most of the Electabuzzes I've actually been seeing in NU are Scarf or Specs, so just based on that assumption, you know, it could have been one way or the other, but I decided I'm gonna go for a Tail Slap. If he went for a Volt Switch, I don't know if it would have killed me right off the bat. I mean, I know Chinchino is fragile, but he just ends up switching out. I actually think that, what does it end up being? I think it's Life Orb, so whatever. I figured I'd just stay in, go for Tail Slap, catch Muck, and then I take it out with, no, I don't take it out yet, but he switches in Golurk to beat me into that, and I guess he forgot that Chinchino gets Bullet Seed. Oh, and by the way, Skill Link Chinchino is actually kind of a pretty big fucking threat, but he doesn't even live 5 hits. I guess he was maybe expecting to. No, 5 hits, that's a lot of hits, and when it happens every time, it kind of hurts. Problem is Chinchino's accuracy on 2 out of 3 of the multi-hit moves that it gets are kind of shaky. Now, this is what I think he should have done a turn before. I do have a switch in to my own Chinchino, which actually does happen to be Wheezing, but he decides to go for Bullet Seed. I don't really know what he was predicting, but hey, you know, resist it, and it only does like, what, 8 damage per seed, gonna be 40 damage overall. That's fine, I'm okay with that. On top of that, I also have the opportunity to get the burn on if he's gonna stay in for whatever reason. I really don't think he would stay in at all, but I get to go for the Will-O-Wisp on just about anything else on his team. He doesn't have any fire type, so it's also gonna be good just to get the burn on something. I think he decided to go to Muck as death fodder, so that's kind of works out for me, whatever. Now, a bunch of interesting shit happens in the middle of the game in terms of how hacksy things get, and Muck kind of sort of kicks things off, but as you can see, I'm faster, or I guess Lefty's Black Sludge, I don't know, I think I'm faster, I don't fucking remember. Okay, so yeah, I am, that's cool, but I missed my Fire Blast. That's the first bit of hacks. I was like, okay, that kind of sucks. He's gonna hit me with an Ice Punch, it's burned, it's not gonna do that much, but he freezes me, oh no, Mr. Bill, fuck, that was really annoying, but it's kind of funny just to see that the smoke is frozen too. You would have think that it would have just like petered out or something like that, but no, the smoke's frozen in here because Ice Punch can do that. 10% chance to freeze everything on that side of the field. But switches in his Pincer. I was pretty intent on going for Fire Blast regardless, and I missed a Fire Blast. I'm just like, what the fuck? I can't miss 2 Fire Blasts in a row. That's bullshit. That Muck is still alive, but it's burned, so whatever. But I do hit my 3rd Fire Blast finally, and then I get a burn, which is, I don't know if I want to say that kind of compensates for the first 2 missing, but it's kind of whatever, just because he's actually going to end up missing 2 Stone Edges. Now, there's a point I would like to talk about in that the damage that the Pincer missed out on may or may not have mattered during certain portions of the game, and it could have gone differently, especially during this little showdown with Electabuzz. I decided, okay, I'm fine. I'm just going to go ahead and be able to take the 1 hit unless it's like this rogue-ass one that's running Psychic. I kind of want to see what item it has. You know, if it took me out in 1 shot, it probably would be Specs, but we learned right there that it's Life Orb, like I mentioned, so slight spoiler, sorry about that, but I'm able to burn it, and with Life Orb and burn, that's not going to be too terrible. So I believe I decide to just leave this thing in his death fodder. He decides to Volt Switch. That's fine. It'll overall just end up giving me switch advantage in this scenario. In the other scenario, you know, I probably would have just brought in Chinchino just because I know that thing is... I think it outspeeds everything on his team, so it's actually not a bad thing to do. But he recognizes that on the Volt Switch, he's going to have to bring in something first. The smarter thing for him to do is to bring in Muck, which probably should have been dead a couple of turns ago anyway. But I'm going to go into my Kadabra and then just kill it off with a Psychic, so nothing special about that. He kind of blends in with the background on that, like the waves on his face and then the waves in the background. I don't know, that was kind of cool. Thumbnail? Thumbnail. works for me. But Ditto comes in, and as I mentioned, you know, Ditto only being as good as the poke that it switches in on, with +1, owing to the fact that Choice Scarf is going to be the arguably the most popular set. But the Shadow Ball is really obvious because I run Shadow Ball, and then if I also run Hidden Power. I think I run the IVs for Hidden Power fighting, but it'd be kind of stupid if he wanted to go for that, since if he's running max IVs Ditto, it would end up being Hidden Power Dark. So hey, whatever. I do catch him. I don't catch him with anything. He ends up switching out because, you know, I'm aiming to the Shadow Ball, so I'm going to go for the Stealth Rocks, and he ends up going into War Turtle. That's fine if he wants to take the opportunity to Rapid Spin him away. I was like, what else am I going to do with a free turn, honestly? Like, I don't know. Now, I was playing a little risky with this Kadabra, but going back to that thing with the Electabuzz from earlier, if I didn't burn it, then having Kadabra around would have been nice. I don't remember which one is actually faster, Electabuzz or Kadabra. I'm kind of running under the assumption that Kadabra's faster, but I haven't gone to check it out. But Eviolite actually does end up helping him out a decent amount because it's actually able to take 2 Psychics, kill me out with a couple Scalds, that kind of thing. And this thing's down, but I do still have Chinchino left. I decide that the better thing to do in this situation, though, is to bring in Pinsir and then go for the Egg Scissor to get my Moxie boost. Now, the problem is that Ditto is still around, despite what I said earlier in the game to not set up. This kind of automatically counts as a setup. I definitely should have gone into Chinchino. So there's that, I guess. I'm mentioning that. But anyway, Pinsir against Pinsir, and I do know that I have Stone Edge on my own set, so I'm going to go ahead and go out into War Turtle, since that's the most likely thing he's going to do. An Unstab, Stone Edge probably wouldn't do that much, but he ends up just going straight out for the stab move. I forgot that Bug versus neutral, so I was like, okay, maybe he'll go for that for the kill, or he's just going to go for an X Scissor to try to take me out. I would have gone for the Stone Edge on the Ditto right there if I decided to stay in, but he decided to go out into Electabuzz, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit that thing with the Scald. This is kind of the point in the game where I say that the burn from where the minuscule amount of damage on Weezing probably wouldn't have mattered overall, because I had 30% chance to get a burn right there, and the burn could have happened one way or another. And even if it didn't, and I ended up losing my Weezing and my War Turtle, my Chinchino would have been able to outspeed it, just owing to the fact that it's still alive, and we're still good to go. So try to go for the Double Protect just to stall out for burn damage. If I don't get it, hey, you know, he'll end up dying at the end of the turn anyway, and I'll just be down 1 wall, so that's fine. Been running bulkier teams lately. It's been kind of benefiting me, I guess. I don't go as hyper offensive as I used to, and I actually take like 2 minutes to think about my team before I go into a stream game, as opposed to 1, so there's that. But all he has left is his Ditto. I have a lot of pokes left, so I'm just kind of thinking about what I want Ditto to transform into, what would be the most useless thing for him to be, and I decide that it's probably going to end up being my Miltank, just because he can go for body slams and stuff, but body slam versus body slam against Miltank is kind of stupid. And I do run Heal Ball on mine, but because he's more than likely Choice Scarfed, he's going to end up being locked in on Body Slam. And if he gets a paralysis on me, I can go for Heal Bell, get rid of it, or if he decides to paralyze something else and have it be kind of inconvenient, whatever. I'm going to go into Pinsir. I believe I have Close Combat on this dude. Do I go for it? No, I go for Swords Dance just to be weird. Maybe I'm not running Close Combat for some reason. I kind of feel like I'm not, for some really stupid reason. But it's over next turn because he doesn't end up paralyzing me. And Pinsir's actually got an okay defense. So I'm able to take that stab, body slam decently, and finish him off in the next scissor. And that is going to be the game. So little bit of a decent length match, kind of an interesting one. I liked it. That's why I saved it. And I hope you guys did too. So if you did, you are more than welcome to leave a like rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. And I got a couple of other games from said stream backed up. I'm kind of like running dangerously low on material and just kind of taking the stuff that I get from streams and just uploading it that week. And I think this match is actually one of the only ones that's like older than a week left in my folder that I actually feel like uploading. But there's that and stuff. So yeah, I think I'm done with this video. Okay, bye.